Hello, 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 lads, lads, and lassies. It's me, Josh, and welcome back to the mystery that is OddTaxi. Last episode, we were introduced to a world filled with animals, and there's a missing cat. She's a high school girl. Last seen going in a taxi. The main character is a walrus that, of course, drives a taxi. This is a very interesting plot, as we are given very little. We are given the bare minimum. We have seeds, like the hippo that wants to be viral, taking a picture, and having a baboon that is also like some kind of gang leader in the background, an alpaca that steals medicine for supposedly this baboon, a dirty cop that steals evidence for this baboon. All signs pointing to the baboon, except our taxi driver is talking to someone in his closet or separate room. He's talking to someone, saying that they can leave anytime they want, that they can escape, as they say. What is going on here? What is the true answer to this mystery? If you want to find out through my reactions, you can hit that link in the description down below. There's a couple links down there. It'll take you to a place where you can actually watch the reaction because of YouTube's copyright, everything. And then come back for the discussion as I try and wrap my head around what this show is trying to put in front of me. Because, it's a mystery. That's the fun part of mysteries. So let's get to this, lads. I highly doubt that there's an after credits scene, but I'm just making sure. Nope. Dang. When the 10-minute mark hit, I just didn't even think it would be 10 minutes yet. Then when the end of the episode happened, yeah, that just ended right there. As soon as the gun got pulled out, in the back of my head, I started thinking like, oh, the episode's ending. Like I was kind of mentally prepared for it, but I wasn't ready for it. I wanted it to keep going. There is, again, a very dialogue-heavy show. It does not help that it is in sub. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to read so fast, and I'm also trying to commentate too. So sorry if it was a quiet reaction again. But I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to pay attention to everything. The comedians. I do wonder how they're going to play into this. They are kind of, they're not failing, but they're not generating great success. They do have some form of audience. They have a fan. It's kind of like the Idols a little bit. The Idols just debuted. They're not making as much as they would wish to make. But they just kind of started debuting, and the comedians have been around for a little bit, but they're not going anywhere. They're not reaching into the stars, and it does seem like they have a little bit of also similarities in the sense the horse isn't really he is into it. He really does want it. He wants to see it succeed. He feels every time they get those negative comments, he feels it, but he also has other priorities. Same thing, I think it was the black cat. She has her own priorities, or not her own priorities as well, but she's working a job, she's a streamer, so she's tired, and that shows in her performance. So it's interesting to see I can see where the Idols are going to come in, because it seems that their manager is dirty. He took a call. He's like, "Oh yes, 50%. Okay, yeah. Oh, you want what? They have an SD card, some kind of camera in their taxi. What's their name?" So the taxi thing that comes into play. Did the cop tell the baboon about the taxi driver? Is this a coincidence? It's interesting trying to put everything together without knowing the whole puzzle. I'm trying to find pieces that don't exist yet. But yeah, the big thing with the baboon. Is it a coincidence? Or is this a hit? But if it's a hit, then why would he continue to get in the taxi unless he's going to have him drive to his own grave? I don't think we're going to lose the taxi driver in this. Or I don't think we're going to lose the taxi driver anytime soon. I think he's our main character. I think it's pretty safe. He might be on the run. He's a taxi driver. Like, he's a taxi driver. You didn't have to threaten him unless you're going to make him do something shady. Ah, baboon. What are you doing? What's your goal here? I do wonder what exactly the idol manager is doing. I'm sure he's trying to get, like, a cut of something. Well, it seems like whoever he's talking to, they're getting a cut of the idol stuff. But what does he get in return? Do they get bolstered numbers of viewers, maybe? Because they did just make their debut and they have more fans, but not as much as they want. Is that because he's taking like, money from the Yakuza? Like, what is this manager up to? And it doesn't seem that the idol knows anything about it, because she asked, like, what was that about? And he's like, oh, it's nothing that you need to be concerned about. So if the manager ends up being dirty, it could spell doom and gloom for the idols in general, because, like, well, got a dirty manager, you're gonna have to restart your business. You're gonna have to get a new manager, but, like, you know, it's kind of like your reputation goes down the toilet. I don't know. The Skunk Guy is interesting. Oh, man, that is a weird conversation to have. Like, oh, if I buy all her CDs, then she's mine. Like, oh. Excuse me, sorry about that. That's kind of just like, whoa. I've never like fallen for like a group of people or like real people like that. I've never like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing of like idol fans. They feel like that, but I've never like felt entitled to a band or group of people because I buy a bunch of their stuff. I buy a bunch of their stuff because I like it. I'm not like, oh, if I buy all this stuff, then it could be mine. That's weird. Those are some red flags. That's weird. But man, he's young. Maybe he's like just get a little too excited about it. But oh, I didn't like that. But I do love this little bargaining. Like, hey, I only have 2,000 yen. Can you take me there for that? And like the taxi driver eventually relents and is like, cool, I'm gonna go buy some lottery tickets. Like, you had more money? I do like the interactions that this taxi driver had. Like, Otakawa, I do like the interactions he has with his passengers. I love his just dumb personality, just straightforward, blunt. It's really entertaining to watch, to listen to, or to read, I guess. I'm just trying to think. Like, the alpaca, we saw her with the baboon in the last episode, and I can only assume that she gives him medicine, or like medical supplies. Because this guy gets into a lot of fights, so of course they're going to need that, or maybe he sells it as like drugs. I hope that she's not playing with his heart. I hope that she's not playing with Otakawa's heart, because yeah, that sucks. That's horrible. That's just terrible. You don't do that. But at this point in time, I will say that she genuinely likes him, because that was adorable. That one clip, that was the only thing I knew about this show, other than it being a murder mystery. That's the only clip I've seen of this show, and it's her giving, or like it's when he asks like, "Oh, do you like anyone?" And she gives him the phone, like, yeah, or they like, can I see a picture? And she's like, yeah, here. And then he just holds it up, and it's the camera. Oh, my heart. I need to remember that. That is so smooth. I love that so much. What a way to confess. What a way to confess. That was smooth. She was a smooth criminal in that one. I mean, she is a criminal, maybe. Who knows? But I really do like his friend's response of like just complete blankness of this guy has someone interested in him before someone's interested in me. Ugh. But there is a age gap. I mean, he's like 41 and she might be a little bit younger. She has loans, or no, she doesn't have loans. That was a little weird. Not weird in the sense, but like she's like, I guess I regret taking a student loan because I wanted to show my parents that I was independent. So maybe she wants more time with her parents. Like, she doesn't want to be by herself just yet. there was a really good piece of dialogue in this when the monkey was saying, like, don't you want your parents to know that you're happy when they return? And Arakawa responded with, I want the people who raised me and paid my rent to know that I'm happy over them. That was a really, really good line. I really liked that. Then it brings up that he was in a car accident that should have killed him, and he was lucky to survive. So I would assume that his parents died in that, but the monkey at the very least says, he said, like, don't you want them to know you're happy when they come back? So it's either maybe one of his parents died in that car crash and the other one left. Maybe he was in a taxi himself, so like the parents weren't there, but he was in the taxi. Or he's lying about his parents being alive with his friend, because I don't think that the car accident is a lie, because we've seen flashbacks to it. So maybe he's lying in the sense of like, oh yeah, my parents are out abroad, but they're just gone. But then why would you say that they abandoned you? So I don't, they're not dead, but they did leave him. I'm more interested in this guy's backstory now than I am in the murder mystery. But there are two very, very intriguing plot lines. I'm really intrigued by this. The writing in this show just begs you to ask questions that you cannot answer by yourself. Like, you need to watch the rest of the series. And I'm definitely watching the rest of the series. I'm just trying to think what we can go from here. Maybe next episode is all about the monkey. Or the baboon, not the monkey. This episode kind of seemed to be split in two. It's like, or not in two, but like it split in three passengers. It was the alpaca, the skunk, and the comedians. So maybe next episode's going to be all about the monkey, because last episode was about the hippo, a little bit of the alpaca, but not really. There's a lot of people that this series introduced to you, and I feel like it's trying to like create this gigantic web. You just can't see the strings attached yet. So I'm interested to see how they do. And the mask, I mean, maybe this is just a minor detail, maybe it's a huge one, but the idols, when they first debuted with the five guys, they weren't wearing any mask, and now it's in their contract to wear masks. So maybe they're trying to build up an intrigue of like, what do they look like behind the mask? Okay, if we get to like this many cells, we'll like do a face reveal for this one, and if we get to this many cells, we'll do a face reveal for this one. I don't know. They don't seem very happy about the mask, but they also don't seem to be like, I mean, like, there are other ways to do it. They seem kind of accepting towards it, but not real. It's a weird dichotomy between the two. And then the radio host, they're being split. Like, only the horse is wanted for the cooking broadcast. Is that because they want to make fun of him? Or what? I'll tell you, if they were looking out, if they needed ideas for their broadcast, they could just bring up their like whole school stuff, like their school background. Like, this guy went in a fist fight with a girl, and it was an even match. There was a draw, and he's like, "No, don't talk about my past." Like, you could make that a really good podcast setting, but I guess they want to be more comedians than podcasters. But it's fun listening to people's backstories. It's fun listening to like how people grew up. At least I like that kind of stuff, like learning about my entertainers. I love watching podcasts, and they have a pretty good dichotomy, so they could just incorporate that into their act, and I think they could get a lot more viewers, or at least their viewers will start caring a little bit more to them. They got that second letter. It's much nicer than the first letter. It's the same. It was by the same guy though, so it was much nicer. Much nicer. Alright, I am out of theories for you lads. If I missed anything in these first two episodes, be sure to let me down below in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the next episode OddTaxi is released. And, well, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Show the support. Just go down in the comments. Say something. It doesn't even have to be about the show. Just say something in the comments down below. If you really like this content, you can check out my Comic Good Kill reactions, my Kill the Kill reactions, my Gurren Lagann reactions, My Hero Academia with Micaiah, Legend of Korra with Micaiah, Gravity Falls with Micaiah and Anthony, all of the Disney Plus stuff. There's a lot of stuff on this channel while you wait for next week, so make sure you just stay tuned, and let's see how much more of this mystery unravels in the next one. I feel like we barely talked about the cat in this episode, so maybe next episode we get a little bit more of what happened to her.
Trying to feel where to go now. I want to flow again like the water. Don't wanna feel adrift in the gutter. Hear me calling.